Before you skip this video, there is a very high chance you are lying awake at night right now because of credit card debt. Not because you bought luxury cars, not because you were trying to become rich overnight, but because life happened. Maybe groceries became too expensive. Maybe medical bills appeared out of nowhere. Maybe rent increased. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you used a credit card just to survive one difficult month, and that one difficult month slowly turned into a financial nightmare. Now you are staring at a credit card bill, wondering, what actually happens if I stop paying? Will debt collectors keep calling forever? Can someone go to jail? Can the bank sue you? Can they take money from your paycheck? How badly can this affect your future? That's why you have to watch this video to the end, because today we're going to explain all of this in very simple words. No confusing legal language, no complicated financial terms, just a real explanation of what can happen when credit card debt starts getting out of control in America. And honestly, some of the things people believe about debt are completely wrong. Remember that this video is for educational purposes only and is not legal or financial advice. Laws vary depending on your state and situation. Okay, so pay close attention. Imagine Marcus. He is not lazy, he works hard. He has a regular job, pays rent every month, and tries to take care of himself and his family. But over time, life starts becoming more expensive. Gas prices rise, food prices rise, unexpected bills appear. Then, one day, Marcus's car suddenly breaks down. The repair costs over $1,000. He doesn't have enough savings, so he does what millions of Americans do every single year. He uses his credit card. At first, it doesn't feel dangerous. In fact, credit cards are designed to feel convenient. Swipe now, pay later. Problem solved. But then another emergency happens, and another. Soon, Marcus notices something strange. Even though he keeps making payments every month, the balance barely goes down. And this is where many people begin falling into the debt trap, because credit card interest can grow extremely fast, especially when someone only pays the minimum payment. A lot of people think, at least I'm paying something. But sometimes the interest keeps growing so quickly that the debt barely changes. And psychologically, that can feel exhausting. Imagine paying month after month and still feeling stuck in the same place. Eventually, Marcus reaches a point where money becomes too tight. Now he has to choose between groceries, rent, electricity, gas, or the credit card payment. And one month, he misses the payment. At first, nothing dramatic happens. Nobody shows up outside his house, nobody arrests him. But the credit card company may start charging late fees, penalty interest, additional charges, and suddenly the debt starts growing even faster. Marcus tells himself, I'll catch up next month. But next month comes and things are still difficult. Now the missed payment becomes more serious, because after around 30 days late, many companies may report the missed payment to credit bureaus. And this is where debt starts affecting parts of life people don't expect. Because in America, your credit score affects far more than just credit cards. A low credit score can affect renting an apartment, getting approved for loans, buying a car, mortgage applications, insurance costs, financing options, sometimes even employment opportunities. That surprises a lot of people because many Americans don't fully understand how important credit becomes until problems begin. And honestly, one of the scariest parts about debt is how quietly it spreads into other areas of life. Now, Marcus starts noticing the phone calls. At first, it's just reminders, friendly messages, emails saying your payment is overdue. But after several missed payments, the tone may begin changing. The calls become more frequent, letters start arriving, voicemails increase, and eventually the debt may get transferred or sold to debt collectors. This is the stage many people emotionally struggle with most because the stress becomes constant. Imagine waking up every morning already worried about money. Imagine feeling nervous every time your phone rings. Some people stop answering unknown numbers completely. Others become anxious opening their mailbox. And honestly, debt stress affects far more than finances. It can affect sleep, relationships, mental health, confidence, and physical health. Financial pressure can make people feel trapped. Now, here's something important many Americans don't know. Debt collectors still have legal limits. A lot of people think collectors can do absolutely anything. That's not true. In many situations, debt collectors cannot legally threaten fake arrests, pretend to be law enforcement, harass someone nonstop, publicly shame people, lie about the amount owed. And yes, just so you know, some collectors have gotten into legal trouble for crossing those lines. Fear makes people believe they have no rights, but they do. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest myths surrounding debt. A lot of people genuinely believe if I stop paying my credit card, I'll go to jail. In most ordinary situations, that is not how it works. Credit card debt is usually considered civil debt, not criminal debt. Meaning, owing money itself usually does not automatically make someone a criminal. And honestly, that surprises many people. Now, important, that does not mean someone should ignore the problem completely. Because while debt itself may not send someone to jail, ignoring lawsuits or court orders can create much bigger legal issues later. And this is where things can become very serious. If the debt stays unpaid long enough, the company or debt collector may decide to sue. Many people panic when court papers arrive. Others ignore the lawsuit completely because they feel overwhelmed or afraid. But ignoring the lawsuit is usually one of the worst things someone can do. Because if nobody responds, the court may issue something called a default judgment, which basically means the other side automatically wins because nobody showed up to defend the case. And once that happens, collectors may gain stronger legal tools to recover money. And this is where people start hearing terms like wage garnishment, judgments, court orders. And for many Americans, this becomes terrifying. Imagine working hard every week, then discovering part of your paycheck may legally disappear before you even receive it. That's what wage garnishment means in many situations. A court may allow part of someone's paycheck to be taken automatically to help pay the debt. Now, laws about wage garnishment vary depending on the state. Some states provide stronger protections than others, but regardless, the emotional pressure can become overwhelming. People also ask, can they take my house? Can they take my car? The answer depends on the state, the type of debt, court judgments, and the person's finances. For regular, unsecured credit card debt, collectors usually do not instantly take someone's house because of one missed payment. But legal judgments can absolutely increase financial risks later. And that's why experts constantly say the earlier someone deals with debt problems, the more options they usually have. Because once lawsuits and judgments begin, things often become harder. Now, here's the reality many people rarely talk about. A lot of Americans struggling with debt are not irresponsible people. Sometimes people fall into debt because they lost their job, someone in the family got sick, inflation became too high, divorce happened, rent increased, emergencies appeared. One difficult season can create a chain reaction. And once interest begins stacking month after month, escaping the debt becomes harder and harder. That's why millions of hardworking Americans struggle with debt every year. Now, the good news is, debt problems do not always last forever. Many people recover financially, but usually the people who recover faster are the ones who take action earlier. Possible solutions may include payment plans, debt negotiation, credit counseling, settlement discussions, financial hardship programs, bankruptcy in severe cases. But unfortunately, many people wait too long because they feel embarrassed, and financial shame keeps people silent. They avoid opening letters, avoid answering calls, avoid asking for help, and delay often makes the situation worse. The truth is, credit card debt usually does not destroy someone's life overnight. It happens slowly. One missed payment, then another, then stress, then interest, then collection pressure. And before someone realizes it, the situation feels much bigger than when it started. But understanding how the system works can help people make smarter decisions before panic takes over. And honestly, a lot of Americans wish they learned these things much earlier in life. If you enjoy learning about U.S. laws and financial situations explained in very simple words, subscribe to the channel.